Hello everyone, thank you very much for watching. It hasn't been a while since I put out my last spearfishing video. Adriana and I have been looking forward to go diving and spearfish, but the weather hasn't been helpful in that sense. It's been actually crazy down here, raining a lot and a lot of wind, and the ocean was really, terrible, terrible. And then I was thinking about ideas of videos, and I thought, I've been thinking about this one particularly that I wanted to put out for you guys, which is it talks about avoiding mistakes when you're first starting spearfishing, especially with equipment wise, and a little bit of what I learned. It has been since last June since I started spearfishing again. And when I say again, let me explain why do I say that. I'm Brazilian, okay? I was born in Brazil, and I grew up in Rio. All right, I was born in South Brazil, but I grew up in Rio. My father is from Rio, and all my friends down there, we used to play a lot of soccer, like any other Brazilian. I played a lot of soccer. I love soccer. But also, I surf, I bodyboard, did other things, volleyball, and I spearfish. And not much, but enough to get me hooked. Back in the 80s, I'm an 80s guy. I'm 54 years old. I was born in 1969. So back in the 80s, there was spearfishing was something that was not out there like it is right now. I didn't know anybody that did. Only one guy, a friend of mine, and he only did when he went to his condominium in Angra dos Reis, which is a little paradise off Rio. It's more towards inside Rio, south of Rio. And I went with him a couple of times and I had a great time, guys. What a wonderful thing. I always enjoy diving, but with spearfishing, he added that hunting mode, that we like. And it was amazing. So when I came back here, when I came to US, we live in New Jersey. I used to work I work in many places up there in New Jersey, in New York, I didn't have time, I did do a lot of scuba certifications, a bunch of them. I wanted to work with that. But after my last certification, after the last, spending a lot of money on this, I really found that at the time, at least, it didn't have much money in the business unless I have enough money to buy my store and get some equipment inside and some of the makes of the equipment to allow me to sell them inside the store. So to make a long story short, it didn't work out. So I went through the technology side of the business, not scuba business, but I went to do a little bit more computers, the network side of the computer side. And I didn't do it. I scuba dive a few times, but that was it. Then my brother came to live in Florida in 2001. And by 2005, he invited me to come down here for a Christmas party. And my wife at the time, Michael's mom, my firstborn Michael, he's 25 years old. We came down here and I loved it. I always wanted to come to Florida, and when I saw what I saw, and I loved Florida. It had a lot to do with Rio, without the criminality side of Rio, So it was wonderful. Florida is amazing, So we came down here, and then you gotta work, and work. And I didn't get to do what I wanted. I was 37 at the time, 37 years old at the time, 54 right now, like I mentioned before. So I didn't get to do it. So now with my wife Adriana, I was talking to her about the beginning of this past year, 2023. I was like, I wanted to do this, and Adriana is a wonderful person. If you know her, especially with me, she's always telling me, you gotta do what you love, go do it. You're always working. And I told her, listen, I want to do this. Oh, let's do it. I said, I want to teach you. She said, yeah. Adriana is a great athlete. She does mountain biking. She works out a lot. She runs. She does, you name it, she does it. So I was like, great, let's do it then. before that, I taught her a little bit about swimming, a little bit here and there. She's not a great swimmer, but she's a swimmer, you know. And I told her a few things about how do you position your fins to dive, basic things. And she learned pretty quick. So when it came to June, I already had a few things. I went out and bought more stuff. So I got my gun, which is a Koa 54. It's not a cheap gun, but it's a great gun. And one thing I learned, guys, and this is the first tip, okay, that sometimes if you really want to do this, really, when I say really, you're not gonna just try it out and maybe I'll like it. No. If you want to do that, if you like it, rent stuff and then go try it. And if you do like, then you know exactly what you want. But if you know you want to do this, or you've just been putting it off and you're already a spearfishing man, go get something good because you will need it. If you want to get good fish, you need something that will work underwater. And this Koa, it works wonderfully. Okay? I got a few extra guns over here. This one here, particularly, I just got it. All right? It's a rifle. Wonderful gun as well. I got for Adriana. She wanted this size, if she feels comfortable with this underwater. Second tip, you need to be comfortable. Okay? If you're not comfortable, you're going to be miserable. Okay? Because you're going to be there for a couple of hours, even more. We've been down in the ocean for like 3-4 hours some of the days. And if you're not comfortable, it's terrible. Okay? And you don't enjoy, you get nervous. It's just terrible. So you got to get good equipment. So this one, she felt good about it, and we got it for her. And I have a third one. It's also a rifle. I just acquired it. This one is very small, okay? This one is more for the reefs, the rocks, especially when the visibility is not great. You can see from here to there. You don't have to, you don't have that bulky thing right in front of you. Right from here, from the shoulder, you can spear fish, okay? Because when the visibility is not good, you can't see anything, okay? And when you see it, the fish sees you first and it's gone. Because at that point, you're pretty near him and he doesn't feel good and he takes off. So you need something short so you can grab the fish as soon as you see it, okay? So that's why it's so small. One more thing, and I think the main thing here, it's the mask. Since June, this is my third mask, okay? And it needs to be comfortable, all right? The first gun I had, it was terrible on my nose. So after the dives, I had a lot of pain on my nose up here. It was not a good thing. Another thing that I found out right after, because I wanted to do a YouTube channel with this, okay? Put it out there, something I love, and just share with people, right? And see how it goes, my career, my fishing career. And it didn't have this, okay, for the GoPro, the mount. So the second one did, but it was a plastic one, and the GoPro was from time to time, it would tilt, and when I would come home, I would see the footage. It was terrible. It wasn't right. So I decided to go and find something really good. And of course, it was pricey, but I haven't had one problem after I bought this one. Had I gone for this one first and paid a little more money, I would have spent a lot more money in the other two. So that's important, it fits on my nose wonderfully. The mount is pretty good, and it's just a great mask. So in order for you to get a great mask, I would go to a diving store, that has some experienced personnel over there, and tell them what you want, and they will help you. There is a few. There is I don't know if you know the Austin Dive Shop down here in Pinecrest, Florida. They're great there. When you go there and you ask for something, people over there, they're very helpful, very nice, polite, you can spend as long as you want trying things. They're always there for you, giving you some tips, because they're experienced divers. They'll help you with everything. Also, Divers Direct, have great personnel to help you with whatever you need. I'm not telling you this to go buy in these places. I'm just telling you my experience because I've been to some other shops and I didn't like it. I'm not gonna name names over here, but I didn't like it. This too, and there's a few others that I can't remember the name, that I was well treated and very experienced people, and they helped me really well. Another thing that is important is the booties for the fin. Okay, you gotta be comfortable, right? And these ones were very cheap. I recently got another one. Um, this one would be great if I was fishing from the boat, okay? But since I'm going from the beach, when I put the fins on, I get some sand inside the booties. And when I get far from the beach and I'm there, I start feeling the sand kind of bothering my foot. So I got the one that is a little higher, the sand doesn't go in, right? And that for me was awesome. But if you're doing it from the boat, this ones will do the trick. They're pretty strong. You can walk with it. They don't let you slip, or don't let you slip as much, and they're pretty good. Gloves. Gloves are very important. All right. There is so many things, but the major things is, first, you don't get poked, or don't get poked as much by fish. So you got to be a sturdy glove. I love this glove. It's a Cressy, have all the padding, all the protection, but at the same time, it has the flexibility I need in order to do my things under the water. All right. So this one for me was wonderful. Okay. So gloves are important. And I had a pair of another gloves before. It was a little cheaper, but like I said, it was not working as well as I thought, so I had to purchase this one. So again, sometimes if you go for a little price here, equipment, it will work on the long term. You actually save money. This is my snorkel. Okay, it's a underwater hunting snorkel. It's also a Cressy. I like because of the color. It matches my rash guard, and I mean it works great for me. All right. My wife, Adriana, her snorkel has a little apparatus on the top here that doesn't allow water to go in. Okay. So when you go underwater, there's like a little ping pong ball that goes up and locks it from water from going in. I don't like it, but she loves it because she doesn't like to be spitting water all the time when she comes back up and blowing water through the snorkel, so she doesn't have to do that. I prefer this one. For me, this one I can, it's less bulky and it works fine. Very flexible, it works fine for me. One more thing that you have to have, obviously, it's the weight belt, all right? You have to have the right weight belt and the right weight itself for your body, all right? And that's going to depend. I cannot tell you how. You're going to ask me, how much weight do you wear? And I'm going to tell you, I wear with the rash guard, I wear only 6 pounds weight. Okay? Actually, I'm sorry, 4 pounds weight when I'm wearing with the rash guard only. But you might have the same height, weight, and need more weight than me. Okay? Or maybe you don't need weight as much as me. Okay? Everybody is different. Okay? So some people are buoyant and some people are not. It's called negative when you can float, you actually sink. And some people are, positive. They float, so they need weight. Some people, the lucky ones, they're neutral. Okay? So there is 3 types of bodies for the water. And that depends on you. You're going to have to know it. There's a few things that, will help you, to get to know how much weight do you need. All right, there is some videos out there. I watch a few from other people, and they actually help you. I went to the pool here in my condominium, and I bought some weights, and I put some, and I was testing until it was great. Now, one thing I can tell you about the weights: if you go diving over weighted on the weight belt, it's not gonna be fun. Okay, if you go with less weight than what you need, it's going to be worse than that, okay? Because you're going to be fighting your way down, and that will make you spend less time down there, because you're making more effort to be there. So you're spending more oxygen, okay? So it's a good idea to make sure you have the right weight, okay, on your belt. And the weight belt also, it has clips that you can put stuff, like for example, I have this here, which is the little, oh, it's a little bent. It's the little apparatus to check if the size of the lobster, okay? So I have this, I have my knife as well. Knife is a must, and in my opinion, should be sharp. Should be very sharp. Few things, okay? For spear fishermen, a knife will help when you get the fish and then you're gonna brain him. Braining means that you're gonna get the knife on the brain of the fish and kill him, humanely, of course, and fast, so it doesn't have to be suffering. The second thing a knife will be needed is for you to bleed it, okay? When you get the fish, you gotta bleed it out, get all the blood out. One of my videos, you're gonna see me doing that. It's behind the gill, inside the gill. You reach the heart and you cut it. And when you take all the blood out, the meat will taste better. That is a fact, okay? And so you bleed it out, and also I use to gut them out. So I cut the belly, get all the guts out, and that will, at that time, will help you to chum the water so more fish comes up, okay? So, it's not the main purpose. The main purpose is to clean the fish already, to make sure it doesn't go bad, okay? But those three things, braining, bleeding, and gutting, it's A+, okay? And all this I learned with this guy, or for me, I'm 54, he's a kid. His name is Aaron Young. He has a channel called Key West Waterman. Wonderful kid. I mean, wonderful. Everything I know, I got it from him. Of course, I got it from other people too, but most that I learned, because he's from Key West, it's a Florida thing, we go through the same environment, I got a lot from him. I learned also a lot from another kid. I don't think I'm going to remember his name. He's from Texas. Wow, what a spear fisherman. Wow. And next time I'll put his name out there. He's also Braden, I forgot his last name. Next time. I learned from these guys, but especially from Aaron, the guy here with the Key West Waterman channel. He teaches everything. He has so many videos. He does that for living as well. I learned a lot with him about equipment too. Has some videos like I'm doing right now explaining about the equipment, right? So I learned a lot, The other thing that is very, very important, okay? It's right here. It's the fin, okay? Well, I had another one, which was plastic, my first one. It was okay, it was not bad. But then, checking Aaron's video about his fins, and he's explained a little bit about carbon, I was like, I want something like that. I want to be able to do that, And when I put this on my foot, I was like, oh my God, this is heaven, okay? Carbon is wonderful, okay? It gets you faster. You don't have to put as much effort into it. It's super reliable, and I love it. I love mine. You pay a little bit more. The plastic one I pay around $100, and this one was one of the cheapest carbon fins that was out there, which was good. I researched it. Okay, it's a C4 minimum, 100% carbon. This one was $300. Okay, like I always say, diving is not a cheap sport. Okay, it's a little pricey, but I'm sorry about the noise out there. But when you get the right equipment, you won't have any trouble. And when you're in the ocean, you gotta have the right things. You gotta be comfortable out there. Okay. The more you are irritated in the water, the less you're gonna be underwater. You understand? It's a chain of things that it shouldn't happen. So always choose good equipment. Now, you can test it out. like I said, you can go to a dive shop, you can rent some of those things. And let me check this one. Okay, rent that day, that one. Okay, it was pretty good. Let me try the other. Oh, this one is better. So try it out. Okay. If you have questions, you can ask me. You can ask Aaron. Aaron is really good at answering questions in his channel. And I mean, you have to do your research. If you don't, you're going to end up like doing what I did, having to buy something else. So I don't think that's worth it. I mean, you're just losing money here and there. That's not the way it's supposed to be. Another thing, when I go lobstering, I bought the snare, okay? This one here, I love this type because it's simple. You go behind the lobster, as most of you guys already seen videos about it, and you just grab the lobster right there. I don't like the other one. It's a stick with a net on the other hand, and you're trying to push the fish inside. I don't like that one. This one is faster, okay? It's easier. Most of the times the lobster doesn't get spooked with this one because you're going behind her, and I just like this one. One more thing that if you're diving from the beach like Adriana and I are doing, you need a floating device. Now, there is many types of floating devices out there, okay? This is the one I purchased not too far. It was like a month ago, maybe not even. I think I used one time. Yes, I used one time only. I had a few other ones, same case. I should have researched first and purchased later. I didn't. So I went through like two others, the yellow one that you guys also see in the video. That one has a little leak. I still use it, but it's not as sturdy, it's not as strong as this one. This one is pricey, okay? It was about $250, something like that. But it's worth it. I can bring a lot of stuff over here, okay? And I can put the guns. Also, here's fins. I mean, I can put a lot of stuff over here. And also, it's important that you have the dive flag coming from here. Meaning that boats and jet skis will be able to see you and not go over you. That's very important. Safety first. So you have to have this with the diving flag up, all right? And also, if something happens, you can just grab this and just swim towards the shore, okay? So that's why this floating device, it's important. And the guns I already showed you guys. And that's it, guys. That's the video I wanted to do it for you guys, to tell you a little bit about the mistakes I made. And I hope you don't, So, I mean, just ask around, ask diving shops. They will help you. I mean, a lot of diving shops, they want to see what they have. So you got to be careful with that as well. But some diving shops, they're very honest people. Not that the other ones aren't, because, I mean, there is preferences as well, right? Some people prefer this one, some people prefer that one. I have a preference for one type of gun, right? But I love rifle as well, and some people don't. Some people like Koas better. Some people like rifles better. It depends on your taste for that type of equipment. But anyway, I want to thank you for watching the video and being in our channel, Life Hunters. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I ask you that subscribe, help us out. It just takes a click and like the video. If you have any questions, just place your comments and I'll get back to you. As soon as I see it, I'll get back to you. If it's a question and I know the answer, I'll tell you right there. If I don't know the answer, I'll research and I'll get back to you with that. All right? Adriana sends her regards. Next time she's going to be doing the video. All right? She couldn't today because one of our kids are in a school show. I couldn't go, but she'll be doing the video next time. All right. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for the ones of you that already subscribed, part of our family now, and we love you all. Okay. If I don't talk to you before Christmas, I want to send you a wonderful Christmas for all of you. May God bless all of you. Keep you safe, and I'll see you then. Okay. Bye bye.